Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things in here that nobody dares say. Let me just get this off my chest here before we start. A very good friend of mine, Jason Barker, who fought Paul Silky Jones, former WBO world middleweight, world light middleweight champion, killed himself recently, and it's very sad for me to hear the story and very sad news. But he were being bullied by Joe Egan. That's Joe Egan's missus on that picture. She came to see me, and we didn't only speak about that. We spoke about other things. And all I'm going to say to you, Joe, is this: come and see me, and let's get at it because they're queuing up for you in Sheffield, lad. All right, that's all I'm going to say at this moment in time. You're an absolute piece of shit fantasist. How are you anyway, Ryan? Are you all right?
Fucking fantastic, mate. Fucking fantastic.
What have you been
How are
up
you, my
to?
friend?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all
Uh,
right. Plodding on, kid, as we do.
Working, training, being a dad, those are the only variables involved these days, mate. No debauchery.
Yeah, good man. Good man. What do you think to boxing scene at the moment, Ryan?
Oh, it's that card on the weekend was absolutely brilliant, mate. What a great fighter Derek Chisora is. He's what a warrior. What a great fighter Otto Wallen is as well. What a fantastic card, fantastic main event. Absolutely not, mate. It was bollocks. It was shite. Chisora's wank. And Wallen is fucking disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Should not be allowed in this country. Never mind in a boxing ring. Do not let him in. Shithouse.
Absolutely. Pushing 42-year-old Chisora. His feet will look like they were stuck in glue, didn't they?
He's Zimbabwean, though, isn't he, mate? So he's most likely pushing 57, I believe. Um, Typically. But yeah, he was terrible, mate. He was awful, awful, really bad. I don't really get the too far around Chisora. He's always been pretty shit. And this whole act that he puts on about, making himself out to be a lunatic and all the rest of it. Dillian White stuck it right on his toes, mate. He didn't want to know. He shit himself. That's why he started screaming and shouting at press conferences. His arse went. Um, yeah, I don't really see
He
much
was
of
on
a
your manor, wasn't he,
cycle.
Ryan?
Pardon?
He was on your manor, large in it, with his £500,000 check.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Where's my money? Where's my money, Derek? Soft cunt.
What about Bean hanging around arena at night, waiting to say goodbye to George Warren? What were all that about? Hanging about there all night.
What's he doing now? Being because I'm sure he's commenting on GBM shows, isn't he?
Yeah, he does a little bits and bobs, but when he left Sky, he said he were looking to do other things, didn't he? And he's ended up hanging around boxing, scene like a bad smell.
He's boring. He's boring.
Uh,
I think it's a good touch for Izzy to have him commentating on his shows as and when.
but
That
yeah,
is a good touch. But yeah, he's boring. No, I don't really want to listen to Adam Smith.
he's all right. Izzy actually, he's a decent kid. Actually, I've had a night with Izzy. Now he's ex-cricketer, is he, and cruiserweight boxer. He's a fast
He's
bowler.
massive.
He's a big lump. He was a fast bowler at cricket and a cruiserweight boxer. Hey, listen,
All right.
Flex tried to get a little bit clever with Izzy. This is a true story, this. Izzy were like, stood at bar, yeah, I might make a comeback and all that. And Flex like, what are you going to do? And he says, wait, you're talking to you. He says, here, come here outside, you here. Tried to take Flex outside and Flex filled his nappy. Didn't you, Flexy, baby?
Shit back. He's promoting it. He had I told you about him before. Peter Fiori's training him. One of my friends, Ibi Cola.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
was on their show on Friday. He won as well. Actually, he was phenomenal. The first two rounds, you could hear Peter shouting about like keeping composed, etc. Because he was hunting a knockout, and he punches really, really hard as well for his weight. Really, really hard. But yeah, he was. So that is he's promoting him. Peter's training him. So he's in good hands, I reckon.
Yeah, well,
God willing.
Cos Peter's got him. He'll not be one of them that hits deck. He'll be because he's very defensive minded, Peter, isn't he? But if they get
Mm.
a punch, I know you've only got to add that defensive mindedness to him. He'll be all right because Tyson Fury never hit deck when he was Peter, and Huey's never been on deck.
Yeah.
He's never been on deck, have they?
No, Huey's got Good chin though. Okay, now.
Huey's got a chin made of iron, mate. I get stick for saying that on here. I don't know why. I mean, Huey's only 30. He gets loads of hammer, doesn't he?
Mate, when
On
he was
social
like
media,
fucking,
Huey gets hammered, doesn't he, Ryan?
I don't get why, because
I
when he was a
don't.
fucking kid, he was
Listen,
fighting like
you won't
big
like
men.
off Huey, let me tell you.
Not a chance, mate.
Not a
Not-
chance at
I
all.
don't get it. I don't get any kind of hate. Listen, there's all a little bit of tongue in cheek in there for boxers. Do you know what I mean? You can have a little bit of a dig here and there. The professional athletes, it comes with the territory. But someone like Hughie Fiore, who doesn't ever talk no nonsense to anybody, you know, is from what he says to me, is a good role model in the gym. Why would anyone say any shit about him? He seems like a good, honourable man as well. So yeah, I don't really get that.
Yeah, listen, I look at it like this, right? When do you see Huey giving it the big one on social media or shouting out people and this and that? You don't, do you?
Never
It's
seen
about
it at all.
he's a very quiet kid.
He
Yeah.
never mad ass when he got robbed by Parker as well. Like he never seemed to complain too much.
No.
He was on his bike a little bit too much, but he clearly outboxed Joseph Parker like comprehensively.
Yeah, in his own town, and they shafted him.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's a shame that. It was a shame.
So let's back up to Derek then. We've seen Bricktop's interview today. That they must have hired somewhere because they had a press conference yesterday and there was something today. And he's Bricktop, and I quote, he's saying, "Don't rule out Derek against the winner of Dubois Parker." Now, are they forgetting Bacoli and Ejagba, Ryan?
Well, it'll happen as well, that, by the way, Russell. That will happen.
Yeah.
And if Dubois or Parker, Parker bounced Chisora all over the guy.
Yeah.
You know, but Dubois would, you know, Dubois can punch like nobody's business. That's a cemetery job. You know, they need to be looking after someone's health there. Yeah, that can't happen. That can't happen, mate.
I don't think that Derek's really got another fight in him. I think he were hanging on for dear life after 9 rounds, wasn't he? But he managed to scrape whatever he could out of himself to for them 2 knockdowns. But let's be right, that first knockdown, it like he jumped on floor, wasn't it?
It was fucking weird, mate. Wallins just like, obviously he's lefty, so I like lefties, but he's so, like, you can tell by looking at him. You know, like we said on another video about Elmer Fudd, you know, like you can kind of tell by the kind of person he is. He isn't going to come around the corner with you. Yeah. Wallin would shit himself and give you his money. Like, you know, not saying anything too bad there, but he would. He's just a shitbag. He ain't got nothing in him. Like, he fought the worst version of Tyson Fury. The worst version of Tyson Fury. And it's like his ass went, he shit himself. Like, bad fight to make. I don't really get it. Very bad fight to make.
Yeah, this is how I look at it, right? Derek is going to end up on slab, innit? And these
I hope he doesn't.
They're going to hide behind that medical thing that they sign. You know, an hour before you fight, you sign to say you're fit to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to hide behind that because boxing's the only sport where you can legally die in the ring and you don't even get a 50 quid fine. You know what I mean? It's one of them, isn't it?
Well, I hope he doesn't, because one thing he does seem.
Oh, we don't want any deaths in ring. Touch wood, but I think that Chisora's going to end up on slab if he keeps fighting on, or he's going to end up injured.
It's bound to happen. Unfortunately, it's bound to happen, especially if he goes in the ring with Daniel Dubois.
Oh my God! I mean, how on earth, right? Where is his mindset to stand in that ring at the end and produce pictures? Blown up pictures of Usyk, who's pound for pound king.
It's mad, mate.
Beat him once. AJ and Dubois. I mean, AJ's shot to shit anyway. And how would they sell that? Old Lion against young Lion.
Yeah. I was thinking that when I seen it.
Stood against the pupil. I
mean, Tyson did him a solid. Do you know what I mean? Giving him the fair fight. That was a pull up. But essentially, to me, Chisora is like he's just always been a gatekeeper. Like, that's all I've ever viewed Derek Chisora as. Like, even when he was coming up, like, who did he bite now? Paul Butlin. And in the fight with Baker, the one who he kissed, you know, like and he was the prospect coming up, if you will. There was no one in the heavyweight division at that point, but I always just viewed him as like a gatekeeper, can't turn punches over, got really poor feet, doesn't slip punches too well. He's got better at that, and he turns his punches over a little bit better. But I've never really viewed him more than like just a gatekeeper, not even European level. I don't really get the whole. Yeah, it's insane how he's had two world title opportunities and he's probably going to get another one. Mad, don't get it.
It is, you know, your Dylan Whites. What level
Yeah,
would you say he's the highest level he's ever been? British level, stroke European?
yeah. European. I give him credit. He White. I would say European level. The win against Parker at the time and the little Colombian guy that you said.
Rivers.
Yeah, Rivers. Yeah.
Rivers wanted juice, said it with him, won it? Were White or juice?
I thought both of them tested positive.
Oh, did they off? Oh, no.
I thought so.
Big Malk said that Rivers failed, but he didn't, did he?
Oh, that's always going off Big Marks. That the trustworthy Big Mark. Yeah, I was going off his gospel words.
Big Malk lost his job at Sky over that.
I'm not surprised. Big mouth, nobody. Dosser.
But yeah, getting back to Dylan, you say Dylan's
Yeah, European.
And Derek.
Yeah. I would get. I mean, yeah. Derek isn't European level. He was outboxed 12-0 by Cabial for a European title. So I wouldn't say Derek Chisora was European level. No, but I do believe that you could say that Dillian White was a solid European level fighter. Yeah, in my opinion. But who's there? Like, may I ask? Who's ever been there for the last 20, 30 years? Who? No one. What, Hellenius? Nah. Povetkin. It's drug cheat. Who's been there?
Yeah.
No one. They've all been garbage. There's been a few people that have been sort of pumped up to some level for them to get flopped somewhere along the line. Hammer being what? Marius Wack. Like, that's European level, by the way. So what's that? No offense to Liam White, but yeah, that's European level.
Yeah, that's how I look at it, mate. But I mean, Dylan White, right, in my opinion, sold himself on IFL TV. And the fact that he beat Joshua in amateurs and he cashed in on that with Eddie Hills.
Yeah.
That's how they've worked that one. Derek's just this, like, got this lunatic vibe about him at press conferences and that, to sell shows and all that, and giving it the F and B and C and all this and rah.
Yeah.
Made a name for himself that way. Yeah, he's a tough kid, but we're talking 13 losses here, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
How is a man with 13 losses commanding fees like he is? Because he sells the shows, doesn't he? And they all want to, because you don't know what's going to happen. He's like a Mike Tyson, but not as good kind of thing, isn't he? You know? And I think
it's completely perplexing.
You what, mate?
I said it's completely perplexing, mate, because he's not. It's no good. It's not hardcore boxing people that will go and watch Derek Chisora, though. There'll be people who like a bit of a sing-song, want to take a bag of swag and get pissed up. It won't be proper boxing people who go and watch that card at the Co-op Arena. There wouldn't have been any. Yeah, there wouldn't have been boxing people there.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but for him to get in ring and start going on about Joshua, I mean, look, they're both from Finchley, and then you've got the guy asking the questions, Juggiers, and he's Finchley as well. We're all Finchley, aren't we?
Yeah.
What is this? It's like Al Capone interviewing John Gotti, innit? About being a criminal. What you do being a criminal, you'd sort yourself out, John. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them, innit?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Ronnie Coleman telling Flex, what you doing? What you doing taking juice? You know what I mean?
I'm on you, mate.
Do you know what I mean? It winds me up, but Derek needs saving from himself, in my opinion, right? Because I just think that he's going to end up it really hurting that. And do you know what? We don't want to see that in the sport, but to see Bricktop coming out, going on about Indian Summers and his son George and all that, not so long ago, he lost against Vitally. It was 13 years ago, Bricktop. But when he got by Caballel 8 years ago, Bricktop said he should retire. Now they're saying, no, he's a renaissance man. He's back. And you got that Dev's cheese and onion sandwich running around saying Derek deserves a title shot and all this. They're out their minds. They're going to get him done in.
Yeah, it's not on me. He's an insufferable prick, that Dev Sani, I don't like him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't listen to him at all. He's like, I'm not a homophobe, but just that kind of an individual. And I just don't really like him at all. He's like a shit salesman. Like that bubble, like squeaky little geeky salesman. He makes everything seem a little bit classless, in my opinion. When they've got him on a podium speaking, he's not the man for that kind of job. Really isn't the man for that kind of. In fact, sorry, we're in Bolton. Ambulances, police flying past. Apologies. But yeah, he's cheap, very cheap, Dev Sani. Very, very cheap. But you know what annoys me? What do they keep saying? Like the last something about Chisora, and it's like really cool. What's it called?
The Last Dance. Every fight he has.
Yeah. Yeah, it's dead cringe. Like, shut up. Like, it's just another fight. What the fuck is The Last Dance? Like, what's that mean? Is this Grease Lightning or are we watching boxing? Like, I don't know.
You know what, mate? I swear to God, you've nailed it. Is it in that Michael Jordan series on Netflix, The Last Dance?
So it is. Yeah, so it is.
Yeah. What about this show that they're putting on DAZN for its debut, Heavy Duty? So it's not bad actually for what's been coming on recently.
It's a very good card. It's a fucking fantastic card. But
yeah.
Heavy Duty.
Yeah, it's cringes out, isn't it?
What the fuck is that?
I'm starting to wonder if George Warren thinks he's Don King. Do you know where he's there? He's starting to mould into like a Don King job, isn't it? Do you think?
I like George Warren, though. I like the Warrens in general. I know that Frank has done his dubious acts over the years, but they are brilliant. Like, they are, you want to watch, you want to see what's going on with them.
What about Francis, the housewife's favourite? He's going to milk that Moses Atome now, isn't he?
Yeah, he should do as well. Moses Atome is fucking unbelievable. Yeah. He is brilliant. He is brilliant. Would you think he beat Dubois, by the way? Now.
I think he beats Dubois. No, not now. I don't think he's ready for Dubois.
No.
I think it'll be passing at torch, Dubois to him.
Yeah, okay.
But people are saying that Fabio Wardley, and I agree with this, is the new Bakole, the man to avoid.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be. Wardley punches, but he can only punch when he's stood still because he's not been schooled. As a younger, he's not been schooled properly. So you can kind of see what's coming. He's just very awkward. Like, I've been sparring at a gym called On Point Fitness in Fellsworth, and like they're white collar guys. You don't know where the punch. When they stand still, they're gonna throw. Yeah. You don't know where the punch is gonna come from. So it's hard. Like, it's tough to negate. But Fraser Clark, I know he just got stiffed by him, but he did outbox him, and for the most part, in my opinion, beat him the first fight. So why would people avoid Wardley, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I think what he did to Fraser Clark and that, and what I've heard, he's a massive hitter. And
he's huge.
The Who Needs Him club, a bit like Bakole. There's always them guys, like Luis Ortiz with that guy. Eddie signed him to keep him away from Joshua, didn't he? But when he were WBA, #1 ranked, interim world champion, put him in with White Rhino, but the belt, they wouldn't sanction the belt on the line. But they got him to avoid, to keep him away from Joshua, didn't they, basically? That's why they signed him. And I think Wardley, I don't hear anybody mentioning Wardley. He's just iced, the Olympic bronze medalist. He's undefeated after about 1925s. Nobody's mentioning him whatsoever. We're all going on about Derek Chisora and Dylan White and Joyce, and they're all shot to pieces, them three. Do you know?
Yeah, Joyce looks worrying,
40 odd as well. He's in mix. What's going on here? Why are we on about Dylan White 37, Chisora's 42 this year, Joyce is 40 this year? Why don't they move aside them and let's let the next gen come through?
Money in it. That's the only thing I can assume. The storylines behind it, which creates money. Dylan White will always be in a position to make money for the next few years because if Joshua's boxing. And again, likewise, if Chisora's boxing, there's always going to be an angle. If there's an angle, there's money to be made. So I do get it. But yeah, you're right. It shouldn't be the way it is. I don't remember it being that way. If someone was, when I was younger, from what I seen, what I read, what I heard, if someone was a good boxer, they went far. If someone was old and a bit shit, they didn't. They certainly weren't topping cards at the best arena in Europe.
Well, that's all right.
Not after 13 losses and getting starched several times.
Yeah. What do you think, Ryan, about Dylan White, the can man, after all the years of slating Bricktop, high-fiving him at that show and signing with him?
Yeah, it's a bit. If he thinks as well that Frank Warren will do him any favours, he's fucking stupid.
Well, he is stupid, isn't he?
Well, I don't know. I don't know him from an academic perspective, but Frank Warren is the trickiest, slickest guy in boxing. Let's be completely frank. Yeah. No pun intended. Let's be completely frank. Frank Warren is, the man. He's the guy. He's completely negated everyone in boxing and come from nowhere again after being written off a few years ago when he set up Box Nation. And he's at the top of the tree. Dillian White will get sent to the Wolves and he'll get paid for it, but he'll get himself sent to the Wolves for his mouth.
A bit like Eubank Senior did when they put him in with Carl Zaghi and Carl Thompson.
Bang on. You'll get compensated, but I'm going to get your head punched in.
Yeah, that's how Bricktop evens up the scores. I mean, exactly. Dylan White didn't even help promote that Wembley show, did he really?
He didn't do anything. I was a little bit disappointed with that, but okay. It is what it is.
Okay, what did you think to Paul Dempsey's comments about Derek Chisora being like the second coming of George Foreman and Ernie Shavers?
Well, Paul Dempsey's needed a new haircut for the past 20-odd years. It could also do with watching boxing a little bit. Because those kind of comments are fucking disgusting. Derek Chisora is a British level boxer. That's fantastic. That's a great achievement, an incredible achievement for any human being, by the way. Yeah. His name should not be mentioned with anybody world level. Derek's mouth got him an opportunity with David Haye. Derek's mouth got him an opportunity with Tyson Fury. The Vitaly Klitschko fight I kind of got because the heavyweight division was even worse then than it is now.
Yeah.
Derek Chisora should not be in line with all-time great boxers. No.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. Do you think that Bakole will be given step aside if he beats Ijagba so that Chisora can step up to the big seat and fight Dubois or Parker?
Oh.
Bakole.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, well, if Bakole beats Ijagba, because Bacole's in the final eliminator. Derek's just done an eliminator, IBF.
Yeah.
So Bakole beats Ijagba. Chisora's just done Wallin, so he's in mix. But Bacole's not commercially viable, as Eddie Hills says. So, and they're not going to want Dubois near Bakole if he beats Ijagba, are they?
No. That's a good question. Personally, I believe that Effie Ijagba beats Martin Bakole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Martin Bakole has got quit in him. I said this on a prior video. I mean, if the rumours are true, what I've heard about him, as I said, he shouldn't really be allowed in boxing at all. But there's a quit in him. He quit against Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter's a very, very good boxer, very talented, but he's a very small man. He's not a big heavyweight by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, I think Ijagba can win that fight. Ajagba's got a good chin, which he proved against Frank Sanchez, and he punches hard. He's a big guy. Yeah, I think if Martin Bacole's not winning or got him out of there the first 5 or 6 rounds, he might be in a spot of trouble. And that's where the quit in him could come to the fore.
Yeah.
I've been on point with my quick quotes. I got someone tagged me on something on YouTube where I'd said that Whitaker, when he's a good fighter as well, is it Edmondson, Lewis Edmondson?
Yeah.
the British champion, isn't he?
Yeah.
He stuck it on Ben Whittaker. He stuck it all over him. And I seen it in Whittaker. I thought, oh, you're not that guy. There's a quit in you. And I put the comment like, there's a quit in him. Lo and behold. So yeah, I'll put that out there. I think that a Jagba could force Bakoli to quit.
Wait, well, Liam Cameron won it that stuck it on Whittaker, won it? Not Edmondson.
Nah, Edmondson stuck it on him at a press conference, stuck it right on his toes.
That press conference. All right.
Yeah, and he bitched. He hold. Saying that though, I mean, Jose Burton, who's from my way, he stuck it on Yard once at a press conference, and Yard didn't want to know, and Yard ain't got no quitting him in fairness. So I might be wrong, but yeah, I think that going back to it, I think a Jagba will win that fight. Why? Who do you think? Who have you got for that?
I've got Bakoli, but getting back to Jose Burton, he's a lovely kid, him, you know.
Hey, he was at the same amateur gym as me when we were young, and he was absolutely fantastic. He was unbelievable. Like,
he could all raving about him, weren't they, in amateurs?
Mate, he used to punch like it was only in Sale West, which was a small gym, but like it fucking brought the roof down. Like whenever he'd throw a dig, it was mad. I was always. In fact, I seen him in Urmston not long ago. Mate, how he made 12 and a half stone.
6'10", isn't he?
He's fucking massive, man. Like I was like looking up. What's happening? Hopefully, all right. Like, yeah, he's fucking huge. I'm not small myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's
a nice kid.
Massive.
He's a nice kid, him, Ryan.
Yeah. He was always pretty cool at the gym. Like I say, whenever I've seen him out, he's a good man.
One of the best kids I've ever met in boxing. You know, I went to Joe Gallagher's gym when he was at Amir Khan's.
Yeah.
And he come over to speak to me, and I was actually with Mickey Theo when we were there. And I thought, oh, here we go. I thought later to Fury's in it. Yeah. Me and Mickey Theo bounced in gym and Big Max. I thought, oh, Jose Burton's coming over. And do you know what? What a fantastic kid he was, him. He stayed neutral. How are you doing? Come over. I watched him train. He's one of the best kids I've ever met. Him and Crawler, they're lovely kids, them. Honestly, Joe Gallagher doesn't have any prima donnas in his gym.
He won't put it that way.
Proper manners and everything, and Quiggy and them. They're lovely, obviously, really nice kids.
They're good people.
Okay. Joe Joyce is 40 this summer. He's fighting White. White said that he's got no brain cells left in his head, blah, 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 at the press conference. But on Saturday, they were hugging and kissing and high-fiving, and on Monday, he's set about him. What do you think about that fight? And do you see Joe Joyce winning?
I mean, Joe Joyce is slick, quick, good defense, rarely gets hit clean. Yeah, Joyce is great. Joyce shouldn't be in a boxing ring. And it's so sad. I feel bad because he's obviously an exceptionally nice man and a very well-educated man. What did he got really good a degree in something that's quite out there. Like I'm sure it's like philosophy or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's got a degree. Yeah, so he's obviously a bit different, a bit quirky and what have you. To see what he was like on a couple of interviews the other day, I felt like really shit. Like that, I will pay to watch him. And then when you see him get like when Chisora was sticking on him, you just think like, this is a lovely guy who has taken too many shots. Like, don't want to see people like that like get hurt or So I'm not really looking forward to that fight. Who do you think will win? Out of interest,
I think pair of them have gone. I saw Dylan White against Tete, and I thought, wow. He looked like his feet were stuck in like Tiger Bond.
Yeah. But he's got 10-2 feet, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So like he's not meant for boxing really, but he's done very well with the tools he's got, Dillian White. Very, very well. I don't know why. I think Joyce will beat him.
Yeah, well, he might, but I think they both had it.
Yeah. They both can't be in there with anyone who's going to really stick it on him with good pressure. Because it's not good. I think White seems all the way there. There don't seem to be any sort of issues mentally with Dillian White, but Joyce just doesn't look right. Like, and his face is all puffy now, and he was a very athletic guy. He can do capoeira and all that kind of stuff, can't he? But the other night in Manchester, he looked terrible. You don't want to see anyone get hurt. you know.
I spoke to him 10 years ago, right, at EIS when I worked for Dennis, and I was speaking to him. I had about 2 minutes with him, and I thought he was slow then. Do you know?
Ah, okay.
Came away from that thinking, wow, he's had some hammer. And he was about 30 then, 29, 30. And I thought, oh, God, what's he going to be like in pros? And I
Yeah, yeah,
stayed too long. He's just stayed that extra Olympic cycle, didn't he? Just too long.
yeah, yeah. Which
He
is a
seems a
shame.
nice enough kid and all that. And he don't sort of like, well, do you remember that press conference with him and DeBar? It was like,
Yeah,
well, what's this? Is anybody going to say something?
yeah, yeah.
Bit like Yard and Arthur, they have to get the trainers at it, don't they? A bit like Quigg and Frampton, they had to get Joe and McGuigan's at it, didn't they?
Hey, Tundi's fucking around with the wrong guy there, you know.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
Pat Barrett's like
Mate.
dangerous, dangerous, dangerous guy. Fucking mad. Like where they're from as well.
He was
I used to
bouncing
live
about
there.
Manchester overnight. He was in Chinatown saying, "Where's
Yeah?
Pat Barrett?" Tunde,
You're
what?
lying.
Oh yeah, straight up, mate. Bouncing about. Where's Pat Barrett?
I'm
Giving it the big.
surprised people let that slide. You know, like let that slide off.
Trying to sell fight, aren't they? Did you see his interview with IFL or ringside and all that? He said, "I'm in Manchester, really giving it the big one." Go have a
Nah, I
watch
didn't
of
see
that.
it.
Yeah,
No,
you'll
I'll have a
howl when
look.
you see it. Yeah.
I'll have a look.
What
Yeah,
about Yard hugging and kissing Bricktop ringside in the fur
I
coat?
know. Seen that
About
Uncle
all that,
Frank.
there were daggers at dawn 6 months ago, weren't they?
They know where the bread's buttered. Ben Shalom again, no egg on his face.
Well, what's going to happen to him now, Ryan?
I don't know. I'll say this. I'm not going to name any names, but I know a lot of people who know him on a personal level, and he's I believe he's like very very awkward socially in person. I feel bad on him. Like he's opened his mouth a lot and he's threw a few whoppers out there, but he's a naive kid. He's a kid. He's from Hale, like a silver spoon guy. Like he isn't like
An OG.
yeah, like you know, Eddie. I know Eddie's silver spoon, but Eddie comes from Barry's bollocks, and you know Barry Hearn knows he ain't behind the door, so he's raised his son as such. Likewise, Eddie's got a character and a personality to negate society to many extents. Ben Shalom doesn't have that, so thrusting him in the light and like, I mean, he's done it to himself essentially, but yeah, he's just not that guy. Like, and I feel so bad. I read some of the comments about him and I think, well, that's horrible. Like, why would you say that? You know, what's he done to you? He's just a boxing promoter who ain't very good. Don't mean you have to call him names, you know, but I don't know what's going to happen to him.
I have a problem with Ben Shalom getting a big Sky deal after 4 shows as a promoter. What's going on there?
It is weird, mate.
There's something gone on behind the scenes and we're not going to get to the bottom of it. You know what I mean?
It's very strange. I don't get it because all he had was a few cards at the Alti Ice Rink, which is about 200 meters away from where he lives, by the way.
Yeah, the funniest thing about that show overnight was Derek Warchizora holding Spencer Brown's hand in the ring after the fight.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Is Spencer
Like
Brown
said,
the British version of Turkey?
I just thought Spencer Brown was a guy that Mickey Theo was slagging off. I didn't really know who he was until recently.
Spencer Brown was the guy where me and Mick were trying to get John Fury in ring and put him built all over Manchester. Dean's getting that. Spencer Brown, many times on the phone, it's a done deal. It should have happened May 29th, but 4 years ago or something, nearly 4 years ago, whatever. And he was like, it's a done deal. Then they kept moving goalposts and all that. It was just a guy in background. And now all of a sudden, not 4 years later, the guy's like multi-soulfly, swimming in Chochai, stuck in shake, isn't he? Absolutely stuck up him, noshing him, 69 in him, and the full lot. Full bag of mashings.
Hey, fuck it, mate. He's making the money, innit?
He's making the money. He's got in there. So good luck to him.
Yeah, fair play to him.
To be fair to him, I think deep down, Mick and John, they could have had it. Coats off. They've both got a few quid. It didn't need to be about money. They could have had it in Cat Alley if they really wanted it. Do you know what I mean, Ryan?
100%, mate. But that Mickey is never. I seen a video. I'm sure there was a video of him in a boxing ring.
Yeah. Never had a fight in his life, has he?
He's never had a fight. He's nenever had a fight. Really could have got himself in some serious trouble. Serious trouble.
Big Joe
Fair
Egan
fuck,
are
so.
going to go at it, aren't they? Who's
Oh,
going to fund
Joe
that?
Egan, isn't that the guy who's the hardest white man in the world?
Well,
Isn't
according to
that?
Mike Tyson, but when you're putting Mike Tyson on evenings with and you butter him Mike up, he's going to agree to anything. He's going to say, "Yeah, Mike, don't you remember when I sparred you?" Mike's going to go,
Listen,
"Yeah, oh, brilliant, yeah, just get me my 40 grand for doing an evening with him, Bolton. Don't worry
listen,
about
I
it. I'll
felt
give
like
you
throwing
your."
Mike Tyson. Mike, there's free for a oneer. Can you get on YouTube and say that Ryan Manchester is the best? He's hard. Don't go near him. Women go near him. He's massive. You give Mike Tyson free for a one, he'll say anything you want to say. Want
Brass,
him to say.
the brass.
Fuck him. Yeah, he's a sex offender, so I don't like Mike
Yeah,
Tyson.
I'm not a big Mike Tyson fan, to be honest. And do you know what? I always,
I hate all these people who say he's the best boxer.
do you know
He
what
was
bothers me
fucking.
about it, Ryan? Do you know when
Mm,
Teddy Atlas, have you read Teddy Atlas's book?
I've not actually, but that'd be
I
a
read
really
his
good
book,
call.
and he had an 11-year-old niece, and we know why.
Mm,
He let a gun off, didn't he, at side of Mike Tyson's head for what he did. And,
yeah,
but you've got people like Big Joe Egan fawning over this man.
yeah. I'm not a Mike Tyson guy, mate. I'm
So
not a Mike Tyson guy at all.
it is what it is. David Adelaide, he's fighting that TKV or whatever he's called.
Yeah, Jamie
He
TKV.
just got it wrong against Wardley, and he can come again.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I really like Adelaide. I think he's a good character as well. I think a good character, but he's a very good boxer. Do you like him?
Yeah, I like David Adelaide. I met him, went to Bulgaria with him. He's all right.
So you did.
I got him a sit down with Dennis, yeah, and he ended up
That's
signing with
cool as fuck.
Bricktop, didn't he? But he's a
That's
nice
cool.
kid. I did 2 camps at Peter Fury's, and he was in both camps sparring Huey. He's a real nice kid, and he comes from a real well-to-do family, and he's very well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think his mum and dad are barristers. Or
You can
something.
tell he's smart. You can
Yeah,
tell
he's
he's
a very
super smart.
smart kid. He's a
He
big one,
punches hard, him.
very hard, but he's very explosive. But
Mm.
he's a really nice kid, honestly, and you couldn't wish to meet a nicer kid, honestly.
Yeah, I like Adelaide. All right, I mean, I like Wardley as well. Like, I'm not slating his boxing, but yeah, I thought that Adelaide would smoke him. I'll be honest, I did think.
I thought
Yeah,
every time Wardley got into a ring, I always say he's going to get found out today.
yeah,
A bit
yeah,
like
yeah. Same.
he just kept going on this run and winning and winning and winning.
Mm.
So, do you want to go on to do you want to say 7 o'clock for part 2, kid?
Yeah. Of course,
I'll
mate. Of
see you
course,
at
of course, of
7,
course.
Ryan.
Sound old, mate.
Cheers,
Speak to you in
mate.
a sec. Bye.
Right. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. It gives me a chance to go to the toilet and have a piss and change the thumbnail. I think I've made my point. But I will come back to this later. Big Fat Joe with your Fantasy Island stories, eh? You forget to tell people about how you were run out of Birmingham. Pop, bang!